So the first thing you'll want to do is just check that your software is updated by checking the versions. First command is this gh version, which tells you your GitHub version. That's good to go. Here's the Astro V command, checking your Astro version, and then nvm ls command. This shows I have 4 versions of Node, and I'm currently running the latest version, 21.6. Okay. So now let's initialize our first blog. Wow, we've got all these commands. All right, so this command here, it's called npm create Astro latest, and this will launch Houston off. All right, there's Houston. He said, "Welcome towards suffering," which was the name of my GitHub. Now it asks you, where should you create your new project? I'm going to say, whoops. What did I do? So // and then the name of your project. We'll just do blog template. Okay, so that's the name of our project. Okay. All right, how would you like to start your new project? Do you want to include sample files, use a blog template, or empty? I'm going with a blog template. Do you want to use TypeScript? Generally, that's the standard, so I'm going to go yes. I don't know much TypeScript, but you learn as you go. And how strict do you want TypeScript to be? I just go with the recommended strict choice. Install dependencies? Yes, of course. Initialize a new Git repo for me? Yeah, why not? That sounds great. And this is the beauty of the CLI. It just has such a nice interface and works so well. All right, it's doing something as indicated by the changing colors. We'll soon be able to step into this blog-template project that we created and explore the file structure in VS Code. And it even gives you some instructions. Liftoff confirmed. Explore your project. Enter your project directory using cd blog template. Well, / blog template. So I'll go there. And now, as indicated by my terminal, I'm in this new repo. So that's where you step into your VS Code. So code space dot. Yes, I trust the authors. And this gives you a first glimpse into the Astro framework. Just move my screen here. My logo's in the way. Ignore the VS Code. Node modules are just the dependencies, so it's going to be a lot of files, but you just kind of ignore that. If you go to package.json, it shows you the dependencies. These are third-party libraries, plugins, whatever you want to call it, to help run your project. So we are running 6 right off the bat, 6 different dependencies that have this huge dependency tree here in the node modules. You can ignore this file, again, this VS Code file. You can ignore the git ignore, as well as the package lock and package.json. The README is basically just your instructions and features and getting started. These config files we can ignore for now, although you will need to use them later on. For example, when I was adding icons to my social media icons to my website, I had to include a Starlink feature for icons in my config file. But always, when you're in a front-end framework, you go into a source file, and that's the meat of the project. We see a bunch of components for a footer, header, and other various default components. Content, we have our blog content. This blog happens to be written in Markdown, and so each one of these Markdown files is a blog post. Going down to layouts, we have blog post layout. pages, we have a landing page and an about page in this particular example. Styles, we have a global styles, which is applied to every page. And that's basically the gist. So now I'm going to press Control-Shift-P on my Windows to go into terminal, create new terminal. Perfect. And since the dependencies were already installed, all we have to do is npm run dev. Okay. All right, and then it tells you, okay, at localhost 4323. So I'm gonna check it out. And here's your blog. You have a home page, a blog page, about page. The blog page, obviously you can go into these markdown files. It's all the socials hooked. And this is the starter blog that I'm using to create my personal blog, which is going to be released soon. This video, in fact, is part of the very first blog in my new blog series. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. Just to recap, we ran a few commands in our terminal, checked out the structure of the project here in VS Code, ran a quick npm run dev, and we were able to pull up our local development environment. It's awesome. It's complete plug and play from this point. It simplifies a lot. I was watching a YouTube video the other day of someone with like 13,000 JavaScript lines of code, and Astro does a good job of simplifying things and refactoring, and I'm just super pumped and excited about the framework. I hope this tutorial helps.